Okay, hit me with it one more time. Give me a good old. Woof. Woof. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, welcome, everybody. Hey, there he is. There's my bouncing boy. Looking good. How we doing tonight? I wasn't expecting to go live. I was going to kick it. I was just going to watch the... Oh, shit.
You said that they chose her as a leader of the Democratic Party. She's the nominee. What I said is that she's the nominee for president.
Oh, no.
No, she's not the chair of the DNC. Okay, I don't think you understand how the government works or the structure of government, which is fine.
Wait, hold on.
Conservatives, but I'll just say it again. Like right now, you said, why don't they say you should go vote for people in the House? That's what down ballot means. It means that you vote for people of a similar party. The Democrats absolutely want to take the House. That's an important thing. Having the legislature in your control is really important when it comes to passing legislation. Obviously, the same is true for Donald Trump as well. For any president, you obviously want a legislature that will work with you to pass legislation, of course.
Look, you say a lot of things and then you backtrack. You said Biden is the leader of the Democratic Party. That's not what
I'm not saying I said Biden is the president of the United States.
No, you didn't. You said Biden is the leader of the Democratic Party. As a Democratic Party leader, the Biden, the president.
I can't argue with. I don't know who you're talking to right now. I'm telling you right now what I'm saying. If you invent some position or you want to think I said something,
just changed what you said. But okay, that's fine. We'll change what you said.
Joe Biden is the president of the United States. Can you also hear?
Okay, we'll go. We'll go from that.
I've answered so many of your questions. What was one policy that you named tonight? Can you give me?
No, hold on. You haven't named a single policy that she can do as president.
I gave you three. I gave you three things.
And you just said she can't do them as president. That's what I mean. You haven't named a single policy she can do as president. You only named policies that she has to convince.
The president can't pass legislation.
No, but a president can lock down the border or open it up. That's the whole point. That's what I'm saying.
That's not the whole point. Oh my God, no.
Oh, no.
Ideally, you want border policy to be done with the legislature.
Ideally, but you don't have to. That's why Trump closed down the border. That's why Joe Biden took an 84 executive order.
Okay. Everybody calm down. One after another. Okay, so I want to have it like this. He says something, you say something. He says something, you say something. Please don't trip. Just calm down. Okay, Destiny, can you finish
simple
your
question.
thought? And
then
just
a simple question. I just want to know one policy that Donald Trump spoke about, that he suggested. What was one policy position of Donald Trump that he brought up tonight in the debate?
Just one? Tariffs.
Okay. Do you think that Donald Trump knows what a tariff is?
Yeah. Given he already implemented them and Democrats loved them so much, they kept them around. Did they not?
Can you tell me, how is a tariff supposed to lower prices for Americans? Why did Donald Trump
hold on. You asked your question. Let me ask now. I answered your question. Now let me ask you a policy. Name me one policy that Kamala is actually able to implement herself, and not the Congress, but can implement herself. Name one policy that she said that she can implement herself as the chief executive, because that's what she's running for.
What do you think an executive does?
Like implement tariffs, execute executive orders, negotiate with countries. Name the one policy that she said she can do herself without going to Congress.
I don't think of the. I mean, well, let's see. For the office of the presidency, I mean, technically, things that she was talking about with regards to Israel and with regards to Ukraine would be things that she would be able to do on her own.
What did she say? She didn't actually say anything. She said we must support our allies.
Israel, she said it's important that we go down the road for a two-state solution. She said that that's important. It's important to bring to cause a ceasefire to come about, to bring an end to the conflict right now for Ukraine and Russia. She said that it was really important that we continue to defend Ukraine. It sounds like she was supportive of the weapons that we sent there so far. So it sounds like she'll continue to advocate for that and speak with Zelensky about that. I don't know. Those are two positions, but
okay. So just to clarify what you're saying, so her policy is two-state solution for Israel, and her policy is to keep funding Ukraine until the last soldiers die. Is that her policy?
I don't know if I would call those policy. Usually when I think of policy, I'm generally thinking of like legislative agendas. Like policies would be like bills that you would pass and stuff. But I mean, I guess you could call those policies, like how she would conduct war, I guess.
But again, she's not unable to go to legislature and like.
I'm done with this questioning. If you don't understand how the president works,
yeah,
in the
dude,
US
he just doesn't
really
get it.
Upset the president can't pass bills.
Adrian, cut in and said, "Let's do rules talk one at a time." I know you're uncomfortable with the truth. I know you kind of broke down.
I'm absolutely not uncomfortable with the truth.
I know you like over talking when I'm talking, but that's okay.
You were born in Moscow. You sound like you're having some trouble right now with the English language. That's fine, no problem. We can go.
I speak English because that's the only language you can speak. So let me finish, and maybe we can actually have a conversation on the language you're born with, and the one I had to learn about 20 years.
What can the president do without the legislature?
Well, apparently you don't know what a president can do, because you can name a single policy Kamala can do herself. You couldn't. I named a couple.
I'm not interested in executive order. We don't elect the president.
But that's what we're selecting. We're selecting the chief executive of the United States. That's what we're selecting. You're not interested.
The United States. Yes, the chief executive of the United States. One of the most important things they wield is the veto power.
Right.
The veto power is the veto power over the legislature. They're also important because the president of the United States can cheerlead the Congress for their legislative agenda.
Oh no, this guy doesn't know. Oh no, he's about to get. Oh no, he's getting mugged.
That's one of the largest reasons why.
Oh no, deploy the booty squad.
In the United States,
his ass is getting tickled, fellas.
That work with our parties. We don't elect dictators that do things on their own. I'm sorry.
The chief executive of the United States is not the cheerleader for Congress. It's a three-party system, three branches of government. They're all equal branches. They have their own right, their own policies, their own ability to go and execute executive actions and so forth. Maybe you're unfamiliar with that.
I'm
it's kind of strange
no,
you grew up in
I'm not
this
familiar with
country.
that. I'm not.
But
I wasn't
listen,
aware that
you
all
clearly
three.
you can't name a single policy. You cannot name a single policy she can do as president. Not one.
Come back here after you've passed the Khan Academy like Civics 101 course on the U.S. government, and we can talk. Okay?
Come back here when you can name a single policy she can do as president that she mentioned today. Because clearly, all you're saying is Congress, cheerleader for Congress.
But he did, and
I'm
she
sorry
did.
that
Wait.
talking about legislation is so upsetting to you because you just want an authoritarian dictator that will do everything on his own. But that's not how we do it.
Ooh, oh no,
Mugged.
mugged.
Government, what the Constitution
I'm about to get mugged. Oh
What
no.
do you think
Three
co-equal mean?
branches.
What does co-equal mean?
Leave me alone.
Equal in power, authority, and what's called governance.
No, no. Co-equal means that they have different checks and balances on each other, but they have distinctly different
Oh,
roles.
shit,
The
Exactly.
reason why it's called the chief
Right.
executive
So there
is
is
because they execute the law passed by Congress, the legislature. Congress is where like policy and statutes and laws come from. The president's job is just to execute it. That's why it's called the executive.
That's not correct. You clearly don't understand your own civics because a president
no.
can execute a lot of different things on his own authority, and that authority is periodically challenged by this courts. And that's the most important thing. Trump all talked about what he can do as president, right? He can do tariffs as president. He can do that. He can close down the border based on the executive actions he's done. He said, hey, look, go talk to Border Patrol. He can't do that. He told her, you can't
close
today.
the border for any reason you want as president. And that's not a good way to do immigration policy. Do you acknowledge that you
The
can't
border
rewrite our
is
immigration? You can't rewrite immigration policy as the president, right? Do you acknowledge that?
I'm not talking about immigration policy. I'm talking about the fact that Chief Executive of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, has a right to protect the country with armed forces, and that the border is the barrier of the country. That is literally within the line of it.
That's great. I'm not interested in a president trying to rule the border by dictatorship. Like that should be something that we pass legislation on. That's what the Congress is for.
I'm not convincing you to be interested with a border that can pass. I'm asking you a simple question. What's the one policy that
why is this guy's voice cracking? Yo.
You haven't stated one.
This guy's having a tough time.
Let me finish. Please let me finish. Listen, I start sentences and you interrupt. Please let me finish. She listed a bunch that Congress can do, and she can do that today. She can go talk to Congress tomorrow. She can get in the House and be like, guys, look, you guys want to do this? Let's do this. This is going to be good. J.D. Vance said a tax credit. I copied his idea. Let's get it implemented today because we can do that. Come on. Let's get a bill out. Why not? Why is that? Hasn't she done that?
She's not the president right now. She's the vice president.
She's the vice president, and the vice president has
doesn't have the ability to veto. And there's a new Congress coming.
The vice president is more present in Congress by being head of Senate than the president.
Oh no, it's unwinnable. It's an unwinnable matchup. I'm telling you now.
Congress to be exchanged with another one. Right now, there's a Republican Congress, or the Republican House. You can't really do much with a bunch of Republicans in the House right now.
She couldn't do much when it was Democrat Senate, then Democrat House either. But the vice president is actually head of Senate, as you said yourself. She's in a better position than the president to go negotiate with the Senate and with the House than the president. You said so yourself. And now you're saying
the head of the Senate, that's like a ceremonial role, basically. Or they cast the tie-breaking vote on legislation. It's not like she has extra powers in the Senate to control legislation. And the Senate is the problem right now. The problem is the House of Representatives.
Oh.
Again, first of all, and actually, you just reminded me.
I'm not interested in talking about like what I want the president to do with executive action. That's not how a president is supposed to lead. That's not what we're looking for.
No, that's exactly how the president's supposed to lead.
I'm sorry, sir. You can have your system the way that you do it. I'll prefer mine the way that we do it. That's why my country is better than whatever country you're from. Okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and
from the United States.
Owned.
Andre, okay. I like the.
Oh no.
Why? Wait. Hold on. What about my name pisses you off? What about my name pisses you off? Huh?
We should have 3 different branches.
Why do you keep alluding to my name, to my background instead of my ideas? Why do you keep alluding to my name, my background instead of my ideas?
We should have 3 different branches of government that do
exactly
3 different things. Okay.
Exactly. And one of those branches is the one where you had a debate for. It's executive, with executive actions, with foreign policy, and all those policies. It's nothing to do with the Congress. And that's what you're saying. You keep saying Congress, Congress, Congress instead of executive branch. It's 3 co-equal branches of the government.
Because he just doesn't get it.
Doesn't mean they have the same powers.
I didn't say they have the same powers. I keep saying that one passes bills, one judges laws, and another one does executive actions. And executive actions are actions they can take. And Kamala Harris hasn't named one. She will take.
I don't think we weren't
she can literally convince Biden
exactly,
to take them today.
the subject of the debate tonight was not what are the executive actions that you want to take as president.
No, the subject of today was the executive actions because it's a president's power to do so. Everything the president can do, including executive action, is the subject of today. Subject of today's presidency, including executive actions, including foreign policy.
That literally wasn't a question. Maybe you just didn't listen to the debate.
Presidency debate for presidency.
Dude, yeah, every time this guy like just gets like absolutely mocked, his voice cracks super hard, and it's really hard not to laugh.
House and Congress, then you
Holy
should watch the House debates.
Holy, why is this guy's voice just like cracking, bro? Is he okay? Is he alright? Does he need a hug?
Destiny, well, this was I really appreciate you entertaining me. This was charged,
man?
but
is he okay?
Ended on neutral terms right there.
Sure. Oh, Megalo.
Yeah.
Oh no. Dude, this guy's
that was
giga upset.
One of the little definitions here.
Okay. Where do we go from here, boys? Yeah, Giga Chad.
Absolutely base. Yeah. Actually, funnily enough, that was I think the last interaction that we've had. Actually, no, that was the last interaction we've had directly on X. I think we did actually have a conversation when we had a call on Discord just before you interviewed these. I think Zach Voorhees, was it?
Wait, are you asking me, Zach Voorhees?
Yeah.
Was he the guy who that thought everybody was a Fed? Is that? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think everybody thinks everyone's a Fed. Let's be real. People think I'm a Fed.
Oh, because you are Elon.
I feel I remember the name.
So
but
you
I don't
are
remember
Elon.
People over the past few months, yeah. Okay,
What?
yeah.
I fucked up.
Was the Google whistleblower guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might have been the guy, yeah.
Yeah, I was just alluding to the conversations, like you were saying, absolutely based. That was like the last interaction that we had directly on X. Remember when I did this thing where I tried to bait you with a reply just for trolling?
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, well,
kind
hey,
of
you guys
strange.
were in
Oh,
a
no.
conversation, so it worked, right?
Yeah, it did. I feel like one of the things, like for instance, the space that we had here last time. Yeah, that one was one where I actually just wanted to have more of a conversation. I kept like reiterating that. I kind of like baited you into a debate, and it was kind of bad on false pretenses there. So yeah, I kind of want to apologize even to a certain extent because I kind of feel like that was a bit dumb. I did get what I needed. I did get the answer out of you as to why the situation with the guy who got shot at the rally. But yeah, it's still interesting regardless.
Hey, conversations are conversations, so whatever works.
Indeed. Yeah.
Oh,
I think one
dang,
of the most
dude.
productive ones we had was the one that we had on Discord. That
Is
one was
this
fun.
it?
Yeah, it was a little bit shorter, but yeah, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I've always wondered is how is it that you are able to process information as quickly as you do? Like you're able to just output extremely.
Oh, it's because
quickly.
he's
How
just
are you-
giga autistic, bro. That's it. That's
Honestly,
it.
most of it is repetition, especially when you're debating conservatives. Usually they just have the same talking points over and over and over again. You don't
yikes.
usually have to know much to counter, so
Mogged.
it's just a matter of remembering what the talking point
Oh,
is and
no.
then remembering what the level 1 retort is to it, and then usually they short circuit like that last guy did, and that's about it.
Oof.
But yeah, for the real answer is I have the privilege of being able to spend all day doing this. So whereas most people engage like in politics or debate is kind of like you could call it like a hobby or something they kind of do after work, I get to do as my job. So obviously when people see me do it, they're like, holy shit, you're so fucking good. And I am pretty good at it, but also like I get to do it all day, every day as part of my job. Like if everybody had the opportunity to just sit here and scream at people online, they would probably get a lot better at it too. So I benefit a lot from practice and repetition.
Ironically enough, I'd agree with you on that one in full. I've kind of noticed this myself as well. I've been able to kind of output information a lot more quickly than I used to beforehand, because I've been doing like these spaces every single day, like at 9. I like start at 9 Eastern.
Oh,
and just kind of
God.
keep it going for
The
as long
plug.
as
The shameless
possible, really.
plug. Pog.
So it kind of does change the way that you speak. Like a lot of what I say is a bit more eloquent than it used to be before. So yeah, I mean, you've been doing this for like, what is it now, 15 years?
Yeah. Yeah, for me,
Jeez
it's just in my
Louise.
real life, all I do is I just hedge like ridiculously now whenever people ask me things in real life. Like if a friend says like, oh, do you think we're going to do this in a month or whatever? My answer instead of just be like, oh yeah, it'll be like, well, I guess it depends on what's going on and if we're able to do this. And maybe like I hedge like crazy because I'm always used to getting clipped on every single fucking thing that I say. So
Yeah, funnily enough, the getting clipped on everything you say type of thing is beginning with me as well, to the point where I have to be like extremely self-aware about everything that I say, right? Not because I'm afraid of saying something stupid. I mean, kind of yes, that I say something stupid.
Oh no,
It's
Elon,
just
it's
that,
okay.
you know,
We all say dumb things,
if
bro.
every single word, every single thing that you are saying is in fact being clipped, make sure that at least what it is that you're saying makes sense. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a thing. It's beginning as well, so that's kind of fun. Kind of
Yeah.
understand now.
True. Is there anybody else who wants to chat, or should I? What do you? 'Cause I have to sleep pretty soon, so.
No sleep,
I mean, I'm not
bro.
sure. I see a bunch of requests, but none of the people that I know. I actually gave you the photo
I
scroll, so
don't.
if you to see anyone who's requesting that you yourself personally know. I see one guy who is a mutual who is followed by you.
What's his name?
Yeah, just let him up. It's very glitchy. I'm like doing this from desktop right now. Periscope is terrible. Blaze, do you see him on stage? It's the Lycan. Hey, what's up, dude?
Lycan, yeah. I
Oh,
suck
hell
at, I don't
yeah.
know how to host anything, so I'm watching you do it.
Let's go, Lycan.
Cool. Yeah, be glad because on desktop, Space's interface is it's an adventure, to put it lightly. On phone is difficult to manage as it is, but on desktop everything starts to lag because there are like, I think, at least right now shown are 150 different profiles. They all do different things
Oh,
right
no.
now, so that causes next level errors. But anyways, Lycan, welcome to the conversation.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, why is it only in one ear? Oh, God.
Watching the debate,
What's wrong with your fucking mic, bro? Lycan, fix that shit immediately. Oh, God. Ah! Oh, God. Jesus. Please! Oh, my... No way. Bro. This is unironically painful, actually.
She tried to rely too much, Steven. She tried to rely too much on the fact that she's the vice president and not actually in command. And I felt like that was a weakness on her part. How do you feel about the fact that she couldn't really own up to any involvement she had on any of the policies?
What?
Well, I mean, the vice president can't do anything technically, right? As like the vice president is basically a ceremonial role. Whatever the president tells the vice president to do, the vice president can go out and do. But there's not much, that the VP can do. I feel like a bigger indictment on somebody's character isn't like what has Kamala Harris not done as the vice president, but why is it that when Trump talks about like fixing immigration or fixing problems like healthcare, whatever, he was already actually the president and he didn't fix any of those things. So I feel like that's the bigger indictment on somebody's character.
Yeah, sure, but it's been 4 years and Kamala's been in office actually like engaging with the president. So I mean, she didn't really speak to like her involvement in those circumstances. Like she kind of hinted at like, oh yeah, I talked to Zelensky before the invasion of Russia, but she didn't really say anything to the effect of, hey, I was the vice president. I actually contributed to X, Y, and Z. She just kind of seemed to distance herself from Biden tactfully.
Well, she's okay from... Yeah, she's okay to do that. Yeah, what? I don't get...
Her involvement, or
What's he even saying here? What's going on here, bud?
So I mean,
you good?
The last 4 years been, if we're going to look at Kamala as the next commander in chief, the next person who's setting diplomatic policy, did you really give any substantive reason why we should believe in her when Trump has actually held the office?
I mean, I think the record of Biden has been better than the record of Trump. I mean, they passed more legislation. I think she mentioned that, like, when they came into office, they had to clean up all of Trump's mess for his, like, mishandling of COVID and the denial of it even existing until, like, the absolute last minute. She spoke about going over and, talking to Zelensky and everything and having them hopefully as ready as they can be in terms of the invasion. But, again, she's the vice president. I don't know. I think she's probably trying to run more on her potential presidency, her future presidency, rather than trying to be like just seen as a Biden stand-in, because all of Trump's attacks have just been centered around kind of weird, crazy attacks on Biden. And Kamala has a record that she can run on in terms of like time in office as a prosecutor and as an attorney general, state attorney general. So it's probably better for her to focus on that and the things that she can bring to the table rather than just trying to run only on Biden's record, would be my guess.
Okay, well, where do you think she substantially differs from Biden as far as, where her policies stand and what do you see in her, whether it's her statements in the debate tonight or things she said in the past? Like, where do you think it stands that she's actually differentiated herself in a way that we can actually trust? considering the fact that ultimately Biden is the chief executive.
How does she? Honest to God, I don't know that much. I can kind of only guess. It's really hard to tell what the exact policy things are going to be because right now the Democrats are the only ones talking about policy, and I feel like you really learn what policy is when you're getting pushback from the other side, and then you kind of like figure out like where the metal meets the road or whatever to figure out what people are actually going to do. But right now, like if this was a traditional debate, Kamala would say something like, we're going to give $25,000 to first-time home buyers. And then the Republican would say something like, oh, well, that you're just giving money to everybody. And that can't be the way that we do things. Like, we're going to make it cheaper to build land by giving tax cuts to developers or something like that. And then you would have like a back and forth debate.
Yeah,
there.
but
That,
that's
you would
not
kind of,
happening anymore.
Figure out, okay, well, what are
That
both these sides
it's kind of a
actually gonna try
dead
to do on
concept
policy?
nowadays,
But
huh?
instead, Kamala Harris brings up
just not,
that she's
yeah.
going to give a tax credit to new home buyers, and Donald Trump talks about how some of those new home buyers might be Haitian immigrants that are going to be eating cats and dogs on the side of the road. So we don't really get to find out what the actual policy positions are of either future government.
Ooh.
So, do you think that that the Harris campaign is trying to make this too much of a referendum on Trump and not enough of setting policy themselves? I mean, it's evocative of Obama's 2008 campaign, right, where he was coming in and not a super experienced legislator, only spent 3 or 4 years in the Senate before he ran, and then the big criticism was, well, he's never set policy. Granted, one cannot argue that he didn't have policy once he got into office, but it does seem that Kamala is doing the same Obama thing, where she's coming in and not a lot of policy is set unless she's really been put to her to actually say something.
I think attacking Trump's record is good because I think Trump's record was
pretty
atrocious,
shit.
and
Yeah.
he already lost re-election one time. It's pretty phenomenal that he's running a third time, and he's running with a new vice president because he tried to get his last one killed. So I think bringing up Trump's record is fine. Like, you were president once, it was a pretty bad experience for anybody with a brain in the country, and you didn't even want to. He still doesn't. He said in the debate today that he still doesn't acknowledge that he even lost his last election. So
Oh, no.
I think that
Yeah, that
being
was
a referendum
insane.
on his record, I think, is totally fine. Yeah.
Now,
Yep, real.
would you say
Real.
now that Trump has some issues, obviously, now that he has he's come into the situation where he has said, he has kind of just ignored the criticisms. There's a lot of criticism
Anyway.
going on right now that the panel hosts, the debate moderators, were a little too lenient on Trump. But it does seem now that the situation was Trump got grilled more so than Kamala. Like, how do you handle that?
How do you handle that? I don't think Trump got grilled more. I think Trump got away with a ton. I think sometimes if it seems like somebody's getting treated worse than another person, maybe it's just because that person is just being a worse person. Like, it's so weird. Like, when it comes to crime, Republicans are the exact opposite. They'll go, well, we need to send all the cops to the bad neighborhoods to arrest all of these violent black people that are committing crime all the time. But then when it comes to Trump and people are calling him out all the time for being a dipshit, people are like, why are people being so unfair to Trump? Well, hey, maybe he's just a bigger dipshit, so people need to keep him in line more. I don't know how to counter that. The assumption, it starts off with this default assumption that everybody should be held to the same number of corrections. But what if one person is just wrong?
Wait, I'm sorry,
Like
Steve,
way
but
more
let's be fucking
than the
clear,
other,
okay?
yeah.
Now, the fucking panelists, the hosts, they only grilled Trump. I didn't hear a single thing from them towards Kamala that was, hey, you said this, what about this? You said this, what about this? The only time that ever came out, was the situation where Trump said, hey,
Well, because she's never said anything comparable. Wait, are you being serious right now?
Those energy jobs, which, to be fair, Kamala had already addressed a few weeks before, after her first kind of appearance in the public eye with Tim Walz, that Tim Walz dual interview. But none of that came towards Kamala. What, is that like how we need to run our elections in this country, where we don't have any kind of decent criticism of the opposition, where everything is going towards Trump?
Well, can you think of a single question that Kamala didn't answer?
Ooh. Damn, real.
That I think that Kamala answered very well, but I think Trump took a different tactic. Trump was going
Ooh,
to
though,
war,
nah, bro.
I'm going to let
Mogged.
my opponent respond, and then I will respond to my opponent rather than directly responding to the moderator.
Okay, well, thanks for the chat. I need to go to sleep pretty soon, so is that everything?
That's all I
Yeah,
have.
that's all you can really do. Yeah, at that
Thanks a
point,
lot,
shit,
sir.
bro.
Lycan?
Licking. Yeah,
See, nice to meet
licking
you.
Trump's
Have fun. Good luck.
balls. Hey.
Yeah, that's what you do, Lycan. We got Social Acolyte up here real quick. I kind of he wanted to talk to you. He's been like messaging me, I guess. Do you want to say something real quick? Because Destiny has to actually go.
Yeah, if they want,
balances the
I can chill for a sec. Yeah, go for it. Fuck it.
Okay.
Oh, hey, yeah, no, I was just coming up here to vibe. I've not seen the actual debate. The only
Oh,
question I
no.
really wanted to ask is how, like, would a voting, because obviously I'm Australian, not involved in the presidential election in any way, but for Americans in the audience, how should they rationalize the change in policies made by Kamala Harris? Whereas, like, 2 years ago and 3 years ago, she was far more on the extreme left, and now she seems to be pandering to the right wing, where she's like, oh, we need police. Yeah, you know, we need to be supporting our police or whatever.
This guy just doesn't know about like Kamala's track record. She's always been like that.
Moderate or even some right on some like key issues. Does that signal a lack of authenticity on her part?
No, she's always been
no,
like
I
this.
think
She's always
kind
been
of a
really
weird
tough
attack
on crime.
Kamala Harris that she's anti-cop when she was a district attorney and then also like an attorney general. I think she's probably always been relatively supportive of the police. I mean, people supported BLM, but I don't think I would have to go and check. I don't think she was ever like explicitly supporting these mass like defund all the police measures or anything. Like she ran to the left of Biden when she was a nominee, so my guess is she's either moderated on some positions because that's where the will of the party is right now, or she has adopted new positions as being part of the Biden administration. But like, remember, when you're running for nominee in a primary, part of what you're doing is figuring out where the soul of the party is or where the will of the people are to win the mandate from the people as part of that primary process. If you run in a primary and you start to see that like, oh, wow, well, some of the ideas or beliefs I have don't align with where my party is right now, you might change your ideas over time, especially if you're part of a new administration. When you run for office again, my guess would be like if Pete Buttigieg were to run for office, he would probably be closer to the Biden administration than where he was when he ran for primary. That'd be my guess. So,
yeah, I actually on a more fundamental level, I actually really support people changing their views over time. Like that signals like good character to go from one view to another. Like that shows that you're like not just a dogmatic individual. So like in that event, I actually do support changing of views and like a more moderate person versus like discussing like all things on like the far left. Like if everything you think is the far left, that's like, come on, man, you know. But like if you're like show that you can like pick and choose some ideas and like can change over time, that's like obviously a really positive human trait. But I just don't think that's what she's doing. I think it's far more reasonable to point out the fact that like, oh, she was pandering in 2020 and in 2022 and in 2021, you know, and then all before that, you know. And then also on the weird, like I mentioned cop, that was just like one example, but like it just seems that she's swung far more to the right during this really key moment, which does signal to me a lack of authenticity, rather a genuine change in her viewpoint. But yeah, it's just a.
I mean, I
I
think it's important when we talk about like pandering. I mean, she is a politician, and at the end of the day, her mandate comes from the people, and her goal is to win an election. So, if the public has a view that they want to see, like let's say that you run on 15 an hour minimum wage because you think that 15 an hour minimum wage is the best thing for the country and that's what most people want, and then you find out that people want like a $12 an hour minimum wage, and then for the next election you're like, okay, well this is what people want, I think that I'm going to push for a $12 minimum wage. Like, is that like pandering in a negative way? I mean, if you're
no, taking feedback and taking like recalibrating your viewpoints isn't pandering, but it is pandering when you like don't accurately display what you truly believe and what you'll truly do just at the key moment when you have to get their votes to win the election. That is pandering.
Well, do you think she's going to get elected and like change what she
I'm not even sure if she's even going to get elected, but
but I'm asking, if she were to win the election, do you think she's going to like come into office and suddenly be like, okay, now that I'm here, we're going to go super anti-cop? Like she would lose the support from her party.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know it well enough. I'm an Australian, but yeah, no, it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
It's cop out. If you're gonna get involved, then get involved, buddy.
Authenticity.
Buster.
Like, right at the key moment, she flips her opinion, and then it's like, oh, okay, now that she's got like the votes, now she can like accurately display what she wants to do. Now that she's elected or whatever. That's just obviously an impossible task. Like, I'm not asking.
Sure, but I don't know where the indication is that she's being like inauthentic. I have no idea.
Because right during this election cycle, she's like suddenly switched her views from like this long extended viewpoint where we've seen Kamala and we've seen that her views have been like really quite far left, and now that she's
Wait,
like
far left on what?
on like a large range of issues. Like for example, she did in fact signal like support for BLM back in 2020. I
do you think
don't
she
know
doesn't
what her.
support BLM? Wait, supporting BLM is a lot different than like saying we need to defund and get rid of all the police.
Yeah, no, I know. But like, the point is, it just does seem, like you could pin me down and ask like, well, what? And like I could say like, oh, I don't really know. But like, I think it's reasonable enough to point out like, before she was far more left, and now during this election cycle, she's far more right. And then as a result of that, it just seems like just specifically during this election cycle, which doesn't seem like a natural transition in her viewpoint, but rather as a way to win specific votes that she feels like she needs to do to win the election. And it seems deeply dishonest and manipulative.
Well, I guess the question would be, how do you feel about Trump changing his viewpoints over time? Do you think that that's like represented an honest?
Yeah, I
change
just
in
don't
view?
pick up on the same. Yeah, I just don't pick up on the same lack of authenticity. I feel like that guy speaks his mind much more clearly and much more honestly.
So when Donald
I
Trump
feel like
ran
he's like
when Donald Trump ran on repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act, and then after he failed miserably at that, he tried to sign into law like protecting pre-existing conditions, which was one of the most important aspects of the ACA. That felt authentic to you?
to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what that is, because like I'm Australian, but like I've just never.
What's like a consistent throughput of like authentic like policy position that you feel Donald Trump has had?
Yeah, like, do you think like the person that's like running this campaign actually believes the policies they're putting forward? Do you think that's actually something they believe, or is it that they believe it's like a strategic thing they have to support to win the election, and that otherwise, if they didn't need to do it to win the election, they wouldn't support this policy?
I think they genuinely. No, I think they genuinely support it, because if you look at the work the Democrats do, they put in the work in the presidency, they put in the work in the legislature, and they put in the work at the local level. But Biden passed more joint, like huge legislative accomplishments than like any president in recent history, and he did it in a historically divided Congress. That doesn't happen unless you really believe in the things that you're pushing, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose
Oh
just
no.
as someone who doesn't like live in the United States, I just don't know these policies well enough.
Yeah, man, it's a
But yeah,
really
no,
poor cop out,
Thanks for
but
chatting.
whatever.
I'll just probably put myself on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, Destiny, if you'd like to go, you're free. You're kind of like free to leave whenever you want. But anyways, thank you for coming, though. It was nice as always.
Yeah,
and
no
thank
problem.
you to whomever shared the links to this in your chat. So,
If
yeah,
there's
no,
any
thank you
other
as well.
big dudes that want to chat, I can stay and chat with them, or otherwise I can take off. It's up to you.
Maybe there is one person as well, like blowing up my DMs. Let's see. Not sure if they're still here. Let me. Okay, I hope he's not going to start yelling. Okay. I swear, I saw the request a second ago, and now I can't find it anymore.
Oh no.
I say it's gone. There's a lot of people that are requesting that I don't know. It's like, no, I don't think there's anyone else. I'm gonna let him up here. I see the one guy could potentially be interesting. And then we could wrap it up if you'd like.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's up, man?
I apologize. My PC exploded, so this is my first time doing this on the phone. I apologize.
This happens. Yes, this happens. Anyways, welcome to the conversation.
I thank you for having me. Destiny, it is a pleasure. So I guess, man, we're speaking a lot strongly on the term of policy and whatnot. So I guess if you could just give me a quick recap of where we're at, Destiny, where we're at as far as like topics are concerned, as far as the debate has gone. If you could help me out with that, and then we can get started, if that's okay.
In terms of, or what exactly are you asking? Like, what the topics of the debate were over for the debate tonight, or?
Well, I know the topics. I did watch it. I was just there was a lot of things that you were saying that did kind of spike my curiosity. You know, as far as you know, when a presidential candidate comes in, and you know, there's not we want to talk about executive order and whatnot, but I mean, the first thing I always default to whenever you were speaking of that is I will go straight to the Keystone Pipeline. You know, I mean, that was executive action day one. So
What? Okay.
Okay.
guess
I'm not when I'm
The
thinking of like a person
keys,
running for president.
the
My major
pipes,
interests aren't just what they're going to do via
The
executive
pipe
order.
keys.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the current administration supports oil quite a bit. The United States is producing more oil now for the world than they ever have in the history
They
of the
can
United
drop
States.
pipes. Oh
That
no.
includes things like fracking. Kamala hasn't signaled that she's going to do anything to touch that. I would imagine anybody would want her to, so that's not really a thing that I'm worried about. I don't think the next administration, whoever they are, is going to do much to threaten what America's doing right now for energy.
Okay. Well, she says that, but she's said alternatively in the past. So what's to make it believe that she's going to do what she's saying now versus what she said in the past, and she's not just saying it to cater favor for voters?
What she said in the past in a primary, she lost. If she would have won the primary in the past and gotten elected, I think she probably would have tried to do those things. But she didn't have the mandate from the party for those ideas back then. She does have the mandate from the party for the ideas now. And the idea that she would like fill out a cabinet and get everybody who is on the Democratic side in Congress like all on this agenda and then become in as the president and then just switch up, that just seems unbelievably unlikely. Like she cast the tie-breaking vote on the infrastructure bill, and that infrastructure bill included a lot of money that was set aside for fracking. Like I don't think she's just gonna like magically 180.
Well, yeah, I will also remind you that the said infrastructure bill also promoted tax on tips. So.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's factually true. I'm just saying, you know, I mean,
wait.
What's
the point of bringing that up?
Well, I mean, if you want to say that you were the deciding factor on a vote for a bill that ends up being something that you're going to backtrack on later, why would you want to trust that person when they've voted against something that they are now going to go for in order to stay in power?
For anything relating to higher taxes on tips, my guess is this is probably put in as a negotiating point with Republicans, not because Democrats would want it. What didn't Joe Biden himself say that they wanted to sign a bill that would have gotten rid of taxes on tips? But I don't think that bill is ever going to make its way through the Congress. Like you're talking about legislation that's negotiated. These are bipartisan bills that are like have huge involvements with Republicans as well, right?
Right. So I mean, just saying something is bipartisan doesn't exactly make it so. And also, I would remind you on the Infrastructure Act and the, whatever act you want to call it, how much money went to Ukraine in those bills?
I don't think the infrastructure bill had any money earmarked for Ukraine, did it?
Did it? I'm not exactly sure. I do know that some of the bills that they passed through had some hidden spending that became highly questionable as of Rand Paul. Again, I'm on my phone. My computer is fried, so you know I don't have pages pulled up like I normally do. But it seems like, you know, you could name something colorful and flowery to make it sound good, but the hidden spending that comes within it could also be like a toxic detriment. And it seems like that's something that a lot of people are easy to overlook when you pass a 4,800-page bill, for example, 24 hours before it's supposed to be voted on, so nobody has a chance to look through it. And the infrastructure bill, and these are the facts, all sources available at louderwithcrowder.com.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there, sorry.
Oh no.
That the infrastructure bill did,
your
in fact,
source
pass a
is a
tax
pundit?
on tips. So I'm just curious.
When you say tax on tips, I
Oh
don't know what that means, 'cause tips are already a tax.
your
Like a special
source is
extra
a
bill?
pundit and it's
they're not.
Crowder?
Tips
Wait,
are
wait.
a cash
Oh
transaction.
no,
They're
no,
not recorded
dude,
in books.
no.
So-
Crowder
I'm
isn't
sorry,
a
excuse
source,
me,
he's a
they absolutely
pundit.
are taxed. You have either never worked a job before, or you're not aware of how taxes are filed in the United States. But in the United
This
States,
guy
of
doesn't know how
America,
anything
you're absolutely
works.
supposed to account for your tips, and you're supposed to pay taxes on those tips. If you're not, you're committing.
I
tax fraud.
have. I was a general manager for Domino's for 2 years. I know exactly how taxes. I know exactly how tips and taxes work.
So then what are you talking about? So then why are you
If you're a
talking so
manager at a pizza
stupid?
place, then you know that if you had a
Then why are you so
point-of-sale,
why are you talking so
system that
so
had
dumb and
credit card
bad?
tips, those probably automatically got added to the paychecks of your employees where taxes were accounted for. Or if you got cash tips, you might have paid them out in cash, but those employees are supposed to report those on their, back then it would have been probably a 1040 EZ at the end of the year or in April or whatever before tax filing. You
It
can't
would
just
be a
take
1040 EZ, or if to a more severe degree, it would be a 1099 G. If as a streamer, you would know what a 1099 G is.
You give you 1099 tax, you 1099 tips for your employees at a pizza place?
What?
Well, no, I didn't. I'm just
No, you
saying,
don't.
you know, I mean,
You
if we were
definitely
going to
aren't
go that
doing
route,
that.
that's probably the way it would go to some places, like say a bar, for example. You know, I mean, if it's just a straight cash bar, you know, we're talking very small businesses here. I'm not talking about what I did. I'm just saying as an example.
A straight cash bar should still be accounting for all of their money. What you're talking about is just tax fraud.
Yo,
It's
for
very
real,
common.
yeah.
No, it does, and I'm not saying that it doesn't. But like I'm saying, you know, the tax on tips thing is kind of like besides the point.
Also,
we
I don't
can
know what
move
the
on from there.
1099G is. Did you mean to refer to a 1099K? Because that's what I get from PayPal. 1099K is electronic 1099 forms, and I'm sure there are other versions of 1099s as well. But also, I'm still not sure what you mean by tax on tips from the infrastructure bill. You're supposed to pay tax on tips. What provision are you talking about?
Well, it's just like I'm saying
Oh,
the
no. This guy is
according
lost.
to what I've heard, the
This
I don't
guy
know what
is
you've heard. I can't
completely
respond to
lost.
that.
He's in
According
a
to what I've
whole
heard,
other
like, lost
dimension
info
right
data
now.
for- I don't know how anybody. I don't know how I'm
well,
supposed to respond
that's
to that.
fair. We can move on to something else.
Okay.
As far
I'm
as
sure
the
he'd want to too.
as
Yeah.
far as the debate goes, what do you say to all of the things that have been criticized of Trump from Kamala Harris that could have been done now?
What do you mean by that? Criticized? Oh, Kamala can't do
Well,
anything.
you
but
know,
she's
the border and
she's the
everything
vice
else. I
president.
mean, you like here's the thing. Everybody says it's like, yeah, the vice president doesn't have no power. The vice president doesn't have this. The vice president doesn't have that, and that's a fair assessment. But now, President Biden isn't the president anymore. There
He
has
is the
been
president, though.
no, they have forced him out and put
I can't
her
engage.
in,
I can't.
regardless
I have
of
no answer
14
for you.
million votes.
If it's on conspiracy, I can't engage. The president right now is Joe Biden.
This
I
isn't a
can't engage on-
conspiracy. This is fact.
It is.
It's 14 million votes towards President Biden for the incumbent, and then they forcefully took him out without any explanation and inserted Kamala Harris in. So is not now she the president?
Why didn't Trump do any debates this cycle before getting the nomination?
Which debates didn't he do?
He didn't ever debate with Nikki Haley. He didn't do any debates with DeSantis. Why not?
Why would he want to debate Nikki Haley?
Why not? Because we should have open primaries where people are competing with each other, and he'd already lost one election. Why would he assume
Nikki
that he would
Haley
be
is in
coordinated?
competition. Why would you want to debate?
She was running for the
non-competition?
nomination. Why didn't Donald Trump do any debates? If he's so smart, if he's so good, if he has all the experience, why didn't he do any debates with him? Was he afraid?
Okay, where is
or-
Nikki Haley now?
It doesn't matter. I'm asking why. Where is
Okay,
Joe
well,
Biden
if it
now?
doesn't
Now
matter,
it's
then
Kamala
why
Harris.
would you want to debate her?
Okay, then I agree. Then it doesn't matter. So Kamala Harris is the nominee, and Donald Trump is the nominee, and these are the two people running against each other. Joe Biden is still the
Okay,
president.
well, if
That
she's the
hasn't changed as far as
nominee,
I'm
then
aware,
she's
so.
the incumbent. So why
No,
hasn't she
she's
done
not the
anything
incumbent.
now?
That's not how the English language works, and that's not what nominee or incumbent means.
Oh.
Well, she is now the incumbent. She's running as the incumbent because she was already vice president, and now they're making her president. They've suddenly shuffled her in. So I would like you to explain to me how you think that would work.
Well, generally, if you win over 270 electoral votes on January 6th, you get certified as being the president.
She didn't
and on
win
January
270
20th
electoral votes, though.
No, she
Joe Biden?
hasn't, because we haven't had an election yet. That's correct.
Okay, so why is she now the incumbent?
She's not the incumbent. She's
Yeah,
the nominee.
She's running as the Democratic nominee. Well, I mean, I guess you could break that on technicality, so I will give you
No, it's
that.
not really technical. It's kind of like the taxes on tips thing that you just completely made up. Or maybe you saw it on a Louder with Crowder link, which also makes things up. So it's the same thing, I guess.
Fair enough.
What do you mean fair enough?
But-
Oh no.
I guess I'm just kind of confused as to why you're gonna say one thing and then say another when it comes to something that is conflicting information. I guess it's kind of confusing to me as a regular person.
Don't worry, I can tell.
Well, that's not an explanation. That's just a blatant confirmation of nothing.
Yeah, and that wasn't a question. That was just random meandering, kind of like what Trump did in the debate all night.
Oh.
How did he meander?
He didn't directly answer basically a single question, and he gave unhinged.
What did he not answer?
When he was asked to identify basically any specific policy in response to almost anything, he seemed unwilling or unable to answer the question.
What is anything?
I mean,
You're not going to get by
they-
with broad generalizations with me, Steven.
Well, I
I'm
mean, you
just
tried to do
right
broad
now, so you better get
generalization
down to
for
specifics.
literally the entirety of the day. You're literally giving broad generalizations on legislation. He was asked directly, like 3 times, if he would veto a national abortion ban. He didn't respond to that. He refused to the entire time. He kept saying, "Oh, it wouldn't matter."
He didn't. He did answer it. He said he would leave it to the states. It's not up to him.
That's not.
And there is no such thing as an abortion ban,
answer.
so that's already a
That's
lie.
not an
So you're
answer.
leading
If
with a lie.
If the Congress passes an abortion ban, would he veto it? That was the question, and he wouldn't answer it. And you're not answering it too. You're playing the same
There's
game.
no need to veto it because
Exactly.
he
You're
left it
playing
to
the same
states,
game. You're not
dude.
answering. You're not answering.
Oh no.
That
It's
is
over.
the
It's over
answer.
for him.
You're
There's
not
no
answering.
need to veto it because it's
There
left
is-
to the
it's
states.
called a
He
hypothetical.
took it out of
That's when they
federal
say-
power,
when they say,
dude.
When they say, what? No, he didn't take it out of federal power.
Yes, he did. He
got-
left
no.
it to the states, and now the
didn't
states
do
are voting,
anything.
and the
The
people are
Supreme
voting. There's
Court-
no such thing as an abortion ban. That is a lie.
The Supreme Court went back on a prior Supreme Court ruling. The Congress could pass a law relating to abortion, and they haven't. But if they do, will Trump veto it? That was the question, and he didn't answer.
And he said it is up to the states. It's up to the people to decide. It's not up to him, and it's not up to the federal government, which is the best
That's
thing
not
about
true,
America,
though.
which is
That's
small
not
government.
true.
We don't need
That's
big
not true.
government making
That's
decisions
not
for the rest
true.
of us.
We literally have a big government. It's called the federal government, and state governments are pretty big as well. So,
It's called the executive branch of one of the 3 branches of government.
what the executive branch has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. What are you talking about?
Well, the executive branch, which is the presidential branch, has the ability to veto any laws that come through the other branches of government.
The
So,
other branches, yeah.
why would you want to say there is an abortion ban when there is clearly not, when it has been passed down for the ability for the people to vote on a state level basis?
If it were really cold in your house right now, how would you feel?
I'd feel awesome.
Okay.
Can I get a
I'm from the Arctic Circle. You're not going to get by with me on the cold. So what does that have to? I'm just saying, dude. Like, if
You're not saying anything.
That's
You're
it.
just,
I
it's
don't-
a
I don't
simple
know if I'm-
hypothetical, and you're scared of it the same way that Trump is. Or you guys truly just can't like compute basic grammar or syntax anymore. The question is if Congress passes an abortion ban, would you veto it? Or if Congress passes some type of abortion
Congress isn't going
allowance,
to
would you
pass an
veto it?
abortion
That's not an
ban
answer.
because it's
understand that
not
you're not
up to
answering it. You
Congress.
are having a psychotic break with reality right
Roe
now, sir.
v.
You are
Wade
lo- you
is
are losing your
eliminated.
mind.
It's not up to
You're
Congress.
losing
It's
your
out of
mind.
the federal government's
Roe v.
hands
Wade
at that
has
point. So it's a
nothing to
moot
do-
question.
No.
It has
Roe v.
no
Wade
meaning.
Roe v. Wade has nothing to do with the federal government. Roe v. Wade has nothing to do with Congress.
Yes,
Okay,
it
the
is. It was left
no.
up to the federal government.
No, it wasn't. That's not what Roe v. Wade does or means. Okay. The question is if Congress, the federal Congress, were to pass a law banning abortion, would you veto it? If they did, would you veto it? That's the question.
Okay, so how would that particular scenario come into play?
Well,
How would it?
Congress,
How
they
would?
make a piece
well,
of paper. I can
want
show
you
you
to
the
give to
cartoon if
me
you want for
what
how
the
a bill becomes
scenario
a law.
of- I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Congress would pass a bill. It could start in the Senate or the House, and the bill would say something like, "Now abortion is illegal all across the United States of America," and then the president would have that bill on his desk, and then the president could write veto in a big red, with big red letters, or he could give it the
Oh,
stamp and
shit.
say, "I approve of this bill," and now it's a law. And the question is, which one of those two actions would Donald Trump do?
Well, yeah, but well, okay, sure. In that scenario, I could see
was the
where you're
question?
getting at,
Well,
but
that's a question. It's a very straightforward question. I don't need you to do
it
any-
is, and I agree with you on that. But I'm just saying, there's that scenario will never come into play because it's not up to them.
It can be, yes. Congress right
How
now
could
could
it be?
pass it. Well, they could go to the House or the Senate first. They could make a bill that says we're going to ban abortion, and both houses could agree on it, and then they could send it to the president.
Okay, so how would that happen?
Okay, so that's all I need to
do you
know.
want me to explain the entire part of how legislation is passed?
Well,
I don't know what you're asking.
I'm
Go watch
just
the
trying
School
to
of
get
Rock.
to the.
Come on.
I'm
So
just
the
trying
rest
to
of my
figure
Avenger
out
Party is just
why
gonna get,
you're drawing the
um,
conclusions that you're drawing, because how can you create an imaginary
Buzz, I think I'm
scenario
just gonna go hard into the
from
range
something that lawfully cannot exist if it's left up to individual states of the union versus the federal government?
Okay, I swear to God, I'm not trying to be an asshole right now. What do you think Roe v. Wade was about? Or what do you think Roe v. Wade did?
As far as my understanding, it left abortion laws in the hands of the federal government, which left them to draw conclusions and make laws regardless of the will of the people of individual states.
Okay. So
Am I
Oh
close?
no.
I'm
Not
kind of
really.
close.
Okay. What Roe and Casey did was basically make it so that states couldn't pass laws around abortion, like restrictive laws around abortion. Basically, they made it so that these types of laws would be unconstitutional because they would violate certain types of equal protections, complicated constitutional bullshit. Doesn't matter. But that's what Roe v. Wade did. When they got rid of Roe v. Wade, when they said, okay, no more Roe v. Wade decision, no more cases, or we're getting rid of these, what that means is that states are now allowed to pass laws that were previously would have been struck down as being unconstitutional because of Roe or because of Casey. However, the federal government could also pass a law. The federal government could pass a law saying everybody gets free abortions all the time, or the federal government could still pass a law saying nobody has any abortions. Before, when the Supreme Court when the Supreme Court made abortion a protected right in the United States, they did so through an interpretation of constitutional amendments. Basically, they did it through the Constitution, not through passing a bill. So now that Roe and Casey are gone, the federal government, the Congress, could still pass a bill banning abortion, or I don't know if they could pass a bill making it so abortion has to be available, but that's the thing that could happen. And that's why the question is put to Trump, hey, if Congress was to pass a law banning abortion, would you veto it, or would you allow it to stand? Would abortion be banned in the United States of America? That's what the question is about. Yeah.
Okay, I think I kind of understand where you're coming from, but to put it on the other side of the aisle, I guess, if you could say,
Okay.
it almost seems like Trump was trying to say is that, you know, it shouldn't be up to Big Brother to make that decision. It should be the will of the people of the state, and I think that's kind of where we're getting a little bit, where we're getting our wires crossed in this.
Are we though? Are we really though? Are we really gonna
I'm
wires
not
crossed, or are you just like
pro-life
not really
or
understanding
pro-choice
any of the shit?
in that
What?
aspect.
Okay.
I'm kind of a moderate, you know. I mean, I've
It's
I've
still- I mean,
suddenly
it's
become
still- it's still-
conservative, but
Yeah, I know every moderate on Twitter is. It would still be Big Brother deciding, right? Why do you think the state government is any less Big Brother than the federal government?
well,
Well.
well, because it's smaller and it's easier for people of the state to dictate what it is that their state wants. But then again, that also comes down to people's ability to be informed and voting on a more local basis, like your city council, your local
Yeah, but we're
mayor,
not talking
your
city
state
council. We're talking the
government.
state. Do you think if you go to the hospital and the state government tells you that you can't do anything, do you think that feels any less insurmountable than the federal government? Like, if your whole state is, if the state has banned a thing, that's as much Big Brother as the federal government is.
Okay, so which state says that you can't?
I mean, I don't know the abortion laws in every state. I do know that to the north of me, I'm pretty sure Georgia has made it so that you can't have an abortion. I think it's past 6 weeks.
So is
if you
there
want,
an
I can-
abortion ban anywhere in any state in the United States?
I mean, 6 weeks is essentially, that's basically like an abortion.
So there's not
ban.
an abortion ban. Okay, thank you.
Do you want?
Oh,
what
no,
point do you
he-
think you're? Do you think that 6? I don't think you know anything about.
I don't know a single woman alive that doesn't know she's pregnant past the first morning. I'm just saying.
I'm. thank you
Okay.
for saying
Yeah,
that.
this guy's an
It's more
actual.
than anything I could possibly say. So.
Yeah,
I don't have any
this guy's an
prejudices. I
absolute
just know
moron.
people.
This
I'm good at
guy is
talking
a
to people. I'm just
complete-
telling you that if you think that you don't know if you're pregnant or not past 6 weeks, you're either stupid, on drugs, or both.
Okay. Well, and this is not to be super woke, but this is why women get really triggered when men
I'm
talk
just
about
saying,
women's
dude. I'm
rights.
just saying, how
there
ignorant
you
do you
can go.
have to be to let the federal government have control of your life?
Not ignorant at all to miss one period and instantly just assume or know for a fact that you're pregnant. Like by the time 6 weeks rolls
They
around,
sell
you're not
pregnancy tests
discovering-
at the dollar store, dude. Come on.
Pregnancy tests don't even have a high degree of accuracy until after you've missed your first.
Then go to the
period.
free clinic.
I don't think you.
They
can get
sold
pregnancy
them at
tests at 1
Walgreens.
week pregnant. You have to wait until you've missed your period, which I think is around.
Speaking
2
from personal experience.
my god.
No, I'm speaking because I know a little bit about the human body.
A little bit is putting
The
it
combo.
very accurately.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
What just happened?
All right. right, I guess that's enough for me. I'll let
Let's
someone else
not
have
be-
the
What
floor.
just
I
happened?
appreciate
Also,
Sheldon.
also, I-
What
just
just
to be clear, I'm sorry,
happened?
'cause now I looked this up. So Alabama,
Oh no.
Arkansas, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota,
What's
Oklahoma,
happening?
South
I'm
Dakota, Tennessee, Texas,
Twitter
and
space.
West Virginia have a near total ban in place for abortion. Some of these
What
have
is the total
exceptions
ban?
for
Yeah, what
some
is
of
near total
exceptions
ban?
for-
Near total
yes,
ban doesn't mean
I'm
anything,
about
dude.
to
It's
tell you.
either a ban or it's not. You can't
have-
say near total ban.
Let me
That's
know when
like
you're done
double
with that.
speak.
There we
You're
go.
double speaking. You're
Okay.
double
So
speaking.
the exceptions are for rape or incest in most of these places.
Yes, and those exceptions have been made abundantly clear that that is within the acceptable terms, regardless of time.
That's an abortion ban, though. So that means you can't get an abortion
No,
unless
it's
you can
not,
prove-
because it's still allowed, so it's not a ban. A ban means not at all. You can't change the definition of a word to favor your viewpoint.
It's effectively a ban. If you have to prove
So
that you
it's
get- that you-
effectively, so it's not a ban.
Killing me.
Congratulations. You know what? If you guys lose the election on this technicality, then man, I'm so sorry. I don't know how you didn't pull women over to your side with the best argument here ever. Well, you could get an abortion as long as you can prove you got raped or incested. Like, congratulations. You got it, dude.
GG's, right? Like, it's just unwinnable at that point, right? Like, he got you, Destiny. You're
Can we
kind
change
of
the topic,
owned a
Dustin?
little,
Can I
bro.
ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
On
Moglo, bro.
foreign- I know
He
foreign
owns
policy
you.
wasn't a big topic of the debate, although they both were asked the question. On Kamala's answer about which I view as kind of foreign policy laziness, the solution to the violence in the Middle East is a two-state solution, and how I don't think you and I ever talked that, when we had our conversation on if that's the answer to the current situation against Hamas, or let alone in the Middle East, is just got to get to that two-state solution. Although it isn't something that anybody's ever been able to do, despite years of administrations trying to do. And what you think about that policy?
I mean the two-state solution is obviously something that you have to make some kind of effort towards.
Yeah,
But
for real.
I mean, saying two-state solution is kind of like saying we have to settle life on another planet. Like, that's a way out there thing. I think she answered.
yeah.
I think she gave pretty much the same answer that the Biden admin is giving right now, and what she said right now, that some kind of ceasefire has to be reached. Israel has to be more careful in how they conduct their war. It's basically just kind of like the boilerplate answers right now for it, saying that we need some type of two-state solution. I guess signals like the most kind of like milquetoast, lukewarm take on Israel-Palestine. But I mean, I wouldn't expect them to hash out all the details there.
Yeah, not in that debate, and I guess
All
not.
right, I think it's just it's a very lazy answer to a real question of, if you're saying you got to get to a ceasefire.
You know what else is a lazy
that's
answer,
the
bro?
level that, as you and I have talked, that's never what Hamas has ever.
You know
asked
what
for.
else is a lazy
So
answer
let's
now,
dig a little deeper
buddy?
here. Hopefully, in the next debate, it'll be pushed a little. Like, no. What's your plan? What's your solution?
Bozo.
Other than forcing a ceasefire, and then.
I mean, if they,
Oh, no, we're getting close
I
to
would be in
lining
favor
the
of
map
that.
out.
I would be in favor of that, but only if Kamala goes second, and only if they force Trump to answer first. And I mean, like, are willing to waste the entire 2 hours asking him over and over and over again for an actual answer. Because Donald Trump's answers for foreign policy have always just been, I'll be strong, I'll sit down and I'll figure it out, I'll make them sign peace, I'll send them a picture of their home. If Trump actually answers that question, then I think Kamala should go ahead and give the answer. But no, to have her sit there and try to spell out all of the detailed intricacies and nuances of foreign policy with the Middle East, no, I would be shocked if Trump could talk anything about that region without Kushner, by his side. Trump didn't even manage the foreign policy for the Middle East. It was basically Kushner, I'm pretty sure, doing all the work on that. So, I mean, if Trump wants to answer those questions, I'd be interested to hear it. But every single time Trump is tasked with talking foreign policy, all I've heard him say over and over again, he said this on Lex too, well, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. I don't want to give away my plans. That's what he said over and over again.
I mean,
Well, I mean, would
give
you
the
What a
statistics
dork,
of
dude.
Iran's wealth versus then and now. There's a
What
couple
an
of nuances
absolute
there.
dork.
I'm not defending either side. I'm just saying it really bothers me that the two-state solution gets incorporated into a question like that when it is ridiculous it's just as equal treatment on both sides. You're not giving an answer, and you just gave an answer that isn't a solution to anything, talking about what's going on right now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's definitely it's painting it with a very broad brush. I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
All right, it's good to talk to you. That's the only thing I had. I don't have the where that last conversation meandered to, but thanks.
Yeah. Oh, thanks a lot. And yeah, it was fun chatting.
Is that it? I think that's it. I think that's it, bro.
Yeah, epic. Anyone else? Does anyone else have any comments or such? Destiny, how much time do you think you still have left?
Listen, you know what? If people want to jump in and chat, I'm here for it.
Nice, that's cool. I'll check some of the requests, see if I can find someone who I think is familiar, or at least I know of. There's one. Here, this person is back, who's been asking me, hey, I would like to talk to this guy. Okay, let's see how that works out. Vice, do you see a new person entered the stage yet, or no?
Yes, he's there. I'll help him.
Okay, there, perfect. Hello, welcome to the conversation. Please make sure. I've seen your DMs. I'm not sure how you're gonna kind of move forward here, but yeah. What's up? No screaming.
Hey, Destiny, how's it going? It's a pleasure to speak to you. I can't believe I got the mic. I've never met Adrian.
Beautiful.
This is the first time. I just had a question for you, Destiny. Why is one eye of your lights? Are you in the Illuminati? Are you a Satanist? Or are you just plain stupid?
I can't possibly be the Illuminati or Satan because my Mossad handlers wouldn't
What the
allow me
hell?
to worship the devil. We can only worship Yahweh and whatever the Jewish gods approved are. I'm sorry.
Okay, so why don't you have both your eyes light up? Like, what type of symbolism are you trying to put through?
I don't know. People just like email me stuff and tell me to copy some things, and I get a paycheck in the mail, usually signed by George Soros or sometimes Bill Gates, and yeah, I just follow instructions.
Yeah, so so you do get paid out by George Soros. Is that the same guy who supplied bricks and committed treason against the country? So I just wanted to ask a question. Are you in favor of 7-month abortions, 8 months abortion, 9 months abortion, or when the baby's on the table?
I usually like to have the. I would say that abortion up to 2 years of age is probably best because that gives you enough time to kind of like test drive the baby.
So you're just your brain's just fried. So you
Yeah,
the baby
dude,
has to be in the stomach for 24 months.
I'm actually an abortion survivor. My mom tried to abort me, and they saved me on the table, so my brain's a little fucked up sometimes.
Oh God, maybe she should have. You're so damn dumb.
She tried to, but thankfully Donald Trump and the rest of the pro-life Republicans saved me, and here I am on life support.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've heard you care about the people of Alabama, the people of the Middle States.
I'm sorry if I gave that impression. I don't care about the people of Alabama. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Yeah, oopsies. What the hell?
Country.
Yep, the country of Alabama is one of the worst I've ever heard of.
Yeah, so I guess so what do you think is so funny about destroying America? Are you an evil person deep down in your heart?
Well, I mean, I wasn't until the Jews made me that way, so I just kind of I'm like a bounty hunter. I'm a mercenary for horrible anti-American ideas, and right now the Mossad is the highest payer, so that's where I'm at.
Oh, so you're an agent for the Mossad. Well, it's a good thing
The
that,
Mossad.
you're an idiot and they use you as a tool.
Yeah, no problem. I hope one day I'll be able to get paid the same amounts that your favorite content creators got paid out by Russia. But right now, Mossad's only offering I think it's like 10,000
Russia, the same. Well, yeah, you really talk so fast. Listen, I can talk 10 times faster and run circles around you, buddy. Why did Putin endorse Kamala Harris? Because he loves. Why are you in favor of millions of people dying in the Ukraine? And if you're such a Mossad agent, why are you in favor of Hamas and World War III?
Honestly, because
Hey,
they
what was
said
the
they didn't know
hand?
which weapons World War III would be fought with, but they knew that World War IV would be fought with sticks
Oh,
and
so now
stones.
you're
And I figured that if we
quoting
can just get to that, if we can just get to that war, I'd be able to participate without as much of a threat of death. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the stick wars.
Well, now I understand why only one of your eyes is lit up and not both of them, because you're a dim fucking bulb.
Absolutely. They installed those LEDs and it's never been the same
I think
since.
I think you're probably tired and you might be going to bed soon, because I would like 3 hours with you, because you'll be in a straitjacket at the end of 3 hours.
Honest to God, I think anybody talking to you for 3 hours would feel like they'd want to be in a straitjacket by the end of it.
Exactly. That's because I'm talking so much common sense into your brain. I live inside your head rent free.
Rent free, dude. Yay, the meme. Let's go.
Yeah.
Rent free, bro. No, bro.
Maybe your
Pay
Mossad
up,
might
bro.
send a little bit more cash. What else?
I thought they only pay me to lie.
I guess they do only pay you to lie. God help
Yeah, this
you,
conversation is lit. Not gonna lie.
This is amazing. Yeah,
Alabama
S tier
has
as
been
fuck.
Stand this guy.
Alabama.
Well, I'm not from Alabama. I'm from the free state of Florida, Miami, motherfucker.
Oh, cool. Me too. We had a crazy
Me
storm
too.
tonight, huh?
No, not around me. Maybe God wasn't too happy with you, and he had a crazy storm around you.
Yeah, or maybe you can't actually hear the rain from inside the padded cell. You're too deep in the institution right now.
Yeah, whatever that means, buddy. I think with your thought patterns, hey, why don't you ask your wife who she's voting for? Did she leave your ass?
Well, considering the fact that my wife was Swedish, I don't think she was voting for anybody.
Wasn't your wife fucking other men? Why does anybody give this guy a
Dude.
platform?
Well,
How do they do this? It's kind of impressive. Wait.
Oh yeah. Now you're bringing my mom.
If you want
and
to
my-
get personal,
Listen,
all right?
keep
You want
my
to tell everybody
mother's name
why
out
you
of your
hate me
mouth.
so much? Listen, I'm not gonna keep your
Jesus.
mom's name out of my mouth. I want to keep my dick out of her ass, and that's why he's so mad at me. He walked in on all this fucking, traumatized the fuck out of him, and here he is.
Yeah, I gotta remember that line, dude. Oh, that's a good one.
Mom, you promised me you would never fuck anybody besides dad and your brother, and here you are with Destiny's dick buried in your ass. Okay,
Bro,
screaming.
you're a nasty. You should repent for your fucking sins.
I'm
You're the
nasty?
nastiest guy of all time.
Are you serious? Your
my
mom's the one that
mother's
was doing
like
ass to
60
mouth,
years
bro.
old.
I was just there getting sucked off. Don't get mad at me.
You're into grandmothers, man. You're pretty gross.
Well,
What do you have to that? Whelp? Yep. Whelp.
I mean, she's a mother and a grandmother. Grandmothers need
Yeah, I
love
know.
too.
Well, my mother's someone, I guess. You know what? Keep my mother's name out of your mouth. What else? So you're in favor of 7 months, 8 months,
Nah,
9
bruh.
month abortions, huh?
All the way up to 48 months, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What else is there? You're in favor of the Ukraine war. Are you in favor of Zelensky going all the way to Moscow?
Like with the Ukrainian army? Sure, why not?
Oh my God! Let's just blow up the whole world with nukes. That's what this Destiny. What's your real name? Because it certainly isn't your destiny. I think your destiny is to be in a straitjacket. You're so damn dumb.
Do you think so?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Based.
Well, thanks for the
Well-
productive conversation.
Well, I think just give Donald Trump 6 months and you might be in one.
Oh,
Okay, I'll do my best. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Adrian, I love
What
you.
is
I'm gonna
that?
sleep
Yeah,
soon,
wait.
but it's been fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're getting
Yeah,
real
it definitely
tired.
has.
You're
It
getting
definitely
real
has.
tired. You don't. You
Okay,
can
my dude,
spare
my
me
dude, my
another
dude, my
5
dude, my
minutes?
dude, my
I'm
dude, my
sorry for
dude.
being so
Jesus
fast. I
Christ.
just hate that guy so much.
No, my dude,
Oh, what the
time
hell?
out, man, time out.
I didn't know
We're
that this
Alright,
was
I'll
a
take it
thing that
slow.
I could actually mine. Hold on.
Hey,
No,
that's the same thing I
like-
said to your mom last night.
Whoa.
Oh my God, real funny.
Dang,
This guy's
dude.
resorting to mom
this whole
jokes instead
conversation
of
is
policy.
great.
He's just like Kamala Harris.
I
He
mean,
has
you're
no
the one who
substance
kind of brought
policy.
it up, though. Let's be real here. I mean, if we're gonna have a good standard
Oh.
here, you kind of.
All I did was brought up his wife, and then he brought up my mother.
Yeah,
He didn't even bring up.
do that.
Well, I mean.
Okay, I'm gonna need to solve that problem.
That's really funny. Even
By the
his
way,
friend
thank
was
you
like,
for,
nah, dude.
entertaining the conversation. I understand your humor more than ever now. I mean, look, with you, nothing is off limits, which is absolutely fucking hilarious in this case. I mean, there's certainly a bit of a pain threshold with me, but that's hilarious. That was epic. That was epic. Thank you for.
Le epic
Thanks
as
a lot,
fuck,
doing
bro.
this. Have fun. Good luck. Be careful, guys.
Yeah. Have fun.
Okay, dude. Oh, holy shit. I think the map is mined out. No, it's not mined out. Holy moly. That was amazing. That was an hour of pure cinema. Holy shit. No, actually, now I gotta know what he's saying.
Hey,
Is
what's
it
up?
over?
Review, whatever.
Well, look at this tweet. Jeff Rosen. Everything under control. The media is. Oh, that's the guy I just talked to.
Whoa, what the fuck? Yeah, I thought it TP'd out. Okay, wait, what happened here? What happened? What happened? Was that it? Was that it? Was that it?
David Packman. Okay.
Is that it? Okay.
Oh, Sitch and Adam. I wonder how those guys are going to try to spin it for Donald Trump completely dominating tonight. David's not even streaming right now. Is Josiah streaming anywhere? Pondering politics. Okay. Well, I love you guys. Ribberino, cappuccino, poppuccino, cappuccino, 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 cappuccino.
Okay, later, dude. Anyway, what was this conversation earlier?
Like reactivating or whatever. And it's like, why? Just tell.
Stop letting him. He's taking the last before. Wasn't really doing.
Okay, well, but
Answer 2. It's like she's always trying to like.
Okay, there we
be,
go.
Like, quotable
Steven.
of the year. Hey, what's up?
hey, how about tell me how you feel about this? Bro, I can't listen to these ABC people. They're insane. They're crazy.
Okay. Well, what's up? What do you
Well,
want?
I want to listen to you take about the whole thing instead. Listen to these guys take instead, so I could have your commentary instead.
Sure. Well, what do you give me a question? I'll answer to the best of my ability.
Well, okay. Well, but give me first impression then. Act like you're the guys that are on camera now and they're talking on ABC. The people that are like giving like post thing review or whatever.
Well, the impressions are okay. So, it's a debate that's being broadcast to the American people. I think that coming into this, I think that in some ways, there's a high expectation on Kamala, and because Biden's last performance was so bad, and the standards we have for Democratic performers are relatively high. There's a lot of pressure on her not to mess up or fuck up. And then on Trump, I think that because he's coming in and Kamala's had kind of like all of the recent media coverage, and everybody's still kind of like coming off of her getting the nomination and everything, people are kind of like looking at Trump to do something. So I feel like the winds were in Trump's favor to like have a moment here if Kamala could screw up or mess up. Like she hasn't really been on in a debate like this running for president yet, so Trump's kind of had the experience. Kamala doesn't have the experience as much, and Donald Trump is used to like the zingers and all that. I feel like coming into this, I feel like Donald Trump should have done better, but he's just so unhinged. He kind of fucked it all up.
Yeah, dude, he really threw like giga hard. It was
with the
really
tangents
funny.
And the fucking and the wild rides and then like the jokes and whatever. It didn't hit like normal. It was gonna.
I think the issue is that Donald Trump before wasn't really doing well. Biden was just doing really bad. And now that he's standing next to a competent human being, he needs something more than like the schizoid rambles.
Yeah, for
just
real though.
Absolutely schizophrenic, talking about
It's
dogs being
it's
eaten and
it's completely unwinnable to just continuously ad hom now. It's not the play.
immigration and just
Ooh.
unhinged, insane shit. I don't know. It's just like it just sounds really kind of crazy. I think.
Yeah. I mean, because fucking Biden would get lost in the sauce, right? And then we know what to say or whatever, right? It's a play in his favor, but this time there's an actual being that's like can compute new information and like new rambles, whatever, with like head on our shoulders. So yeah, I feel similar about that. How do you feel about the hosts?
I'm doing my best to fight back against the media on this, but something that we need to deprogram and then reprogram in our minds is we've allowed conservatives to get away with so much for so long that it's going to feel bad being mean to them, but conservatives are kind of like children in stores that are stealing candy bars. Like at some point, you just got to like smack the candy bar to their hand and tell them like, hey, you need to fuck off with this. The problem is I think people are trying so hard to be perceived as unbiased. They're still allowing, Donald Trump to show up in a shit-filled diaper and tell him that he smells okay.
Right,
The
yeah.
moderators need to stop letting him. He's taking the last word on every single question. That's bullshit. Why he's literally stealing every single last word. There was one where I was finally like, "Oh my God, Kamala got the last word on this. Good job." And then he went for the last word, even after she was trying to get the last word. They need to make him actually answer questions. Donald Trump, I don't know if you noticed, Donald Trump did not answer a single question for the entire debate. Not even one question did he answer. And he didn't expand on or speak about a single policy point except for tariffs, which he actually doesn't understand. He doesn't know what a tariff is. I don't know. I wish that, but I think the moderators just don't want to hold him accountable because people are going to say that they're being biased. So, yeah.
So I
that line is said. There are so many things that Donald Trump says that if Biden would have said it, it would be the only thing the media would be talking about, left and right, for the next 3 days. If Biden would have said, "I don't have a plan. I have a concept of a plan, Jack," that would have been the next 3 days. We would be hearing about that Biden gaffe. But because the bar is in hell for conservatives, and it's basically like any time you listen to a conservative speak, it's like you're listening to the opening ceremony of like the mentally special Olympics. Like that's what it's like listening to
The
conservatives
mentally
talk.
special
The standards are
Olympics,
so low,
I
as
know.
long as he doesn't actually shit himself on stage, it's okay, and like everybody claps. All the Republicans are like happy and cheering him on. But like his answers are incoherent, like bumbling nonsense. It's insane how he answers questions.
Oh, I should agree with that. Yeah. So I thought one of the solutions to become as unbiased is do it to both candidates, right? If they do it to both, I think that's perfectly fine.
But she
right?
actually answered questions, so there's no need to like rail her down on that and be like, no, answer the question, because she'll just answer the question the first time.
Like a little bit, right? And I wish they kind of did it like a lot more on for both. Does that make sense? And I actually did a pretty bad job overall. I thought it was odd.
Yeah. One thing that people need to get over, and it's gone deep into like the conservative brain rot today, but like in a normal circumstance, if a normal person walks into a room and there's 20 people in one corner and there's one guy in the other, and you look and you're like, what's going on here? And the 20 people all say, wow, that guy in the corner is like a rapist serial killer, okay? Just so you know. In a normal world, you go, okay, well, if everybody's saying that, I'm going to stay away from that guy. But like in the conservative world, they all look at that guy and like, oh, wow, sounds like there's some inconvenient truths this guy's spewing that you guys don't want to hear anything about. Like, it's unhinged how much favor Republicans get.
That's
when it comes
real,
to these types of
that's
events.
real.
Like the moderators are supposed to sit there and listen to Donald Trump say something like, yes, transgender surgeries are being performed on illegal immigrants in our prisons by Kamala Harris as they come out of insane asylums, and then they're eating the dogs. And the moderators are supposed to be like, thank you, Mr. President, for that answer. And then go on to Kamala Harris and then ask her a serious question. Like, that's what these debates are. It's insane. It's unhinged.
Yeah, dude, it was actually pretty pathetic.
Yeah, well, even though I agree with you, it's their fault for how they format it and how they deal with it, right? Like, they corner themselves because of their behavior and because their lack of spine in debate formatting. It's absolutely their fault. Like, that's why I don't like it.
Yeah, maybe. They said they were going to mute the mics, but apparently it was just muted unless they start talking and then they unmute them. Like, what's the point? Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Is that at that point they're letting them both break the rules, right? And it's whoever can break the most rules that gets that upper hand.
That's not true, because there was one time where Kamala tried really hard to get the last word in for one time on one answer, and the moderators like actually insanely shut her down. She said Donald Trump lied about me twice, and she was trying to get something, and they actually completely shut it down and then forced them to go on to the question, and she had to wait for the question for her to respond. Yeah, it's insane. Like, if you look at the talking time for the debate, I think Trump got like 7 or 8 more minutes of talking time. Like, there's a reason why.
And why is that?
Because they let him get the last word on every single question. On literally every single question, he had the last word.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, the format sucks. If the format is what it is, then it stops when the minute stops. If it's 2 minutes, when 2 minutes stops, it stops. Mm-hmm. Right? They have no integrity when it comes down to like following their own rules, which I think why it's so brain dead. It's why I don't like when they let her speak when her mic is muted.
Hit that.
And
hit the hot ignore.
The production
Sorry,
people
bud.
like somehow make her mic like kick back into
You
gears a
didn't
little bit.
tag that NSFW. You can get hit with that for a week.
It's like,
bye.
Why? Just tell her and him to shut the fuck up when somebody is speaking.
Boys. Even if it's audio, hit it with an NSFW. We don't play around.
I'm not sure what we're talking about.
I'll hit you. I'll hit you the 1 week.
Kicking back in for her.
Not even a 24 straight week.
You know when somebody responds to something, right? And it's not like organized talk, right? It's like let's say they ask a question, and then somebody answers, and then the other person starts talking, whatever, and it becomes the official response. They activate their mic or whatever, right? Like it becomes that's a response, and then they do that. And it felt like at one point.
I think it was just coming. No, it was just her talking coming through, probably coming through Trump's mic.
From his mic, you think?
Yeah, I think you can hear them in the background. But then once they start talking, then they turn the mic up.
That's just poor production. Then that's still dog shit though. That's even worse then. How is the mic that they're literally in front of their face capturing what the opponent's saying? Fucking 5 meters away.
What do you mean? They're a microphone. You're a streamer. You have microphones. You can catch things from across the stage. It's not that hard. It's a microphone. That's what they do. They capture sound.
Wait, are you fucking brain dead, brother? Performers at concerts, they sing in the mic.
They're
then you
eating
hear the, crowd,
the dogs. The people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's in Springfield, They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
They're eating the dogs. Well, hey, well, don't judge me.
Times closer into the sound, and you can't hear the crowd. What are you talking about? You can make the mics actually work properly to where you don't fucking hear no one's in the room. What?
Do you want to do an audio aids right now?
Is this really what we're doing,
so like
bro?
At a concert.
Bruh.
At a concert, a singer's probably singing into like a super directional dynamic microphone, like an SM57 or something, right? It's going to be a
So you don't think it's important for them to actually set this event properly so that they have that for the fucking candidates?
No, these guys are using mics on stands or like lapel mics or shit. These things are way less directional because in these cases, if a candidate moves their head or something or they speak in a different direction, they're going to lose all the audio completely. In events like these, you're never having such a highly directional microphone. You're always going to be using stuff that captures like a wider pattern of sound, of course.
I can give that some form of credibility, but sometimes they're literally on a fucking stand with the thing right in their face. I feel
I know, but like I mean, if you've ever done shows or watched streamers or seen like retards don't speak into mics well, right? They always move around, and then you can't fucking hear anything they're saying because they moved off the microphone. It's like okay, yeah.
I mean, I was just saying, like, I don't like that format of like. If it's organized, okay, your turn. It shouldn't be organic, as in like if this guy wants to start speaking, okay, sure, then that's
no, I agree with you. Once the questions are over, it should be
bullshit.
over. I agree with you. Yeah, once it's over, it should be over. But Trump was able to fight and get the last word on every single question that was brought up tonight, which was insane.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
I think that's fucking stupid. Yeah, I think letting people get away with lies is brain dead. Like if something is objectively untrue, I don't think they should just fucking like slightly brush over it. And
you can't do that. You can't fact check anymore because conservatives don't. Conservatives will tell you that every single fact check website is liberal biased. Conservatives will say that. Conservatives will say I don't trust Snopes. I don't trust PolitiFact. That's biased. I don't trust CNN or Reuters or AP fact check. Those are all biased. All of those are liberal biased media. No, they don't trust any fact checking website ever. So you can't do any fact check anymore. And if you start fact checking, they'll say that you're being biased. There's already people today, I see some of them in across all of these chats right now. There are already people saying, and I've seen every single conservative, because they all get their orders like beamed into them through fucking Elon Musk's Starlink. They all get the same talking points, but it's like, oh, 3v1 moderators, oh, 3v1 moderators. Because anytime you try to hold Trump even moderately accountable for anything he fucking says, right, he immediately gets, you immediately get accused of being biased. Like, Trump doesn't have to answer any question ever. He didn't, again, I challenge any conservative, what is a single policy that Donald Trump talked about tonight? He said he was going to make the economy, did he say better, stronger, faster? He's going to make it greater than, like, he speaks like a retard.
Real.
He actually speaks like he's 4 years old. Not even, I'm sorry. He speaks like a retarded 10-year-old. That's what I meant to say.
Jesus. Yeah, well, I mean, debates are a disaster. I feel like they should be incredibly strict. Just be incredibly strict all the way through. It is what it is. And if you're going to let people get away with shit, then let them get away with everything. Like you can't like do this like pick and choose one thing, because it's gonna look like bias always. Public is brain dead. They won't be able to figure it out.
Sure. I wish they would like make the people answer the questions, but you know.
I mean, they tried, right? So they tried at the beginning, and they completely gave up on him. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah,
on the first question, they asked 3 times, and once he still didn't do anything. They probably didn't want to be like doing that like 4 times per question.
Yeah, because then
and
you
they
seem
stopped
biased.
pressing him ever. That was it. It was done.
Well,
that's just odd. In terms of looks, like who do you think like wins this in optics?
I feel like Kamala didn't make any huge mistakes. I feel like that Trump quote. I feel like the standout quote of the night was the Trump saying, "I have concepts of a plan," was probably one of the
that made him a
stupidest.
little bit very weak. Yeah, it made him look like because he's not currently president, he's not like actively looking for real solutions. He's just saying that he will once he gets there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I also think that Republicans need to do every fucking thing they can to stay the fuck away from the abortion topic. It is the worst topic. Kamala's abortion. You have to stay the fuck away from abortion.
Yeah, it's pretty
Kamala's
bad
a
for
woman.
them.
The Democrats are pro-choice. Like, it's just so easy that if you want to get into the abortion topic, for Kamala to just start mining the fuck out of that, she will farm the fuck out of you trying to talk about making abortion illegal. It's just such a loser topic for him to, like, Republicans need to drop that as quickly as possible, like, run from those conversations as quickly as possible, in my opinion. I just think it's like, because it's like one of the few things that can truly energize a voter base and keep them mad as fuck for a long time, because nobody fucking forgets about abortion, because there's always people, like, getting pregnant around you, like, everywhere. Like, people actually see the effects of abortion and miscarriages and early pregnancies. People see that all the time. It's not like the fucking illegal immigrant caravans where people only know about them when Fox News decides to highlight them, or trans surgeries for illegal immigrants in fucking prisons, right? Where the only time anybody ever even fucking knows about these things when Donald Trump is schizoid ranting about it on some media network. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. I think it's a good review. I don't think I disagree with anything you said. I thought her kind of like appeal to like emotion of her was kind of annoying at times, but because if she did it once or twice, I think it's good to make it like relatable and like I know your struggle, but I think kind of like emotion baiting a bunch of times. At one point, I kind of got to know about it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, I guess, right? Like, she has to figure out something.
Yeah, you have to. Of course. At one point, you have to touch on emotion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Donald does the same thing when it comes down to like war or whatever. He does bait emotion as well, just a different type of emotion, like fear. When he's like this actual like fucking fear mongering Andy.
It is really strange that like, I don't know, maybe they just don't notice it, or maybe we don't care, but like, if you watch a movie and there's always like the really bad dictator guy that takes over in the beginning, like he sounds like Donald Trump. Like, everything is horrible, everything is failing, like everything is being destroyed. True. We need to go. This is destroyed. We need to rebuild. Everything is completely fucked right now. The world is fucking falling into fucking nuclear weapons. They got fucking nukes, and we're on the verge of fucking World War III. Everybody's fucking crazy. Like, it's like, Jesus Christ, calm the fuck down, dude.
Yeah, true. I might fearmonger, and fearmonger shit. But yeah. Yeah, that's about it. I'm just chilling, just spinning and fucking was listening to this debate. I thought it was always interesting and entertaining though.
Yeah, it was entertaining, yeah. Kamala needs to she's doing a good job. I probably want it more than she should be, but I think she needs to do more personal attacks on Trump, because it absolutely triggers the ever living fuck out of him. When she called his plan like weak, when she said that Putin would eat him for lunch.
Real.
Things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you was ass mad about that.
And it's so funny. As soon as she mentioned that small crowd size thing, he spent like half the next answer. He even went back to it at the end.
That's why I said he got baited when he
talking about the small crowd size. He got so
he was absolutely ass mad.
Yeah. He just needs to she needs to throw random things like that after like being serious with all the other serious answers. She also needs to it's okay to have profound statements and to have like quirky one-liners or quippy one-liners. I think that's good, but she also needs to talk like a normal person. Sometimes she speaks too much, like she's always trying to have like a Hallmark card quote or something, or she's always trying to say something.
True, yeah.
I feel like that's like a lot of like politicians when they're campaigning now, though, right? Like, isn't that kind of like why a lot of people tend to hate? Fuck! I'm tired. I was not planning on streaming tonight, but I'm. Isn't that why like a lot of people kind of hate how politicians speak, though? Is because it seems like they're always trying to sell you on some bullshit, right? I don't know. I feel like she's like doing fine when it comes to like how she comes across, but I think he's also correct in that she could play way more aggressively with her strat. It doesn't always have to be like, oh well, like because I have a policy position, I'll like show that he doesn't. She needs to stop. She can't let him get away with that. And like the next one, where it's just like completely okay, and like it's like carte blanche, like basically never answer question. That's just like super doo doo. Can't. Yeah, that's just bad. It's just like super bad.
She needs to bring it down a
like
little.
in a movie or some shit.
Yeah. Just speak like a normal person. You're fine. You're next to Trump. Like, just fucking chill and speak like a normal fucking person. You're okay.
Yep. The racism question, and which one? I don't remember that. Oh yeah, the thing where she.
We also got apparently Taylor Swift just came out and endorsed Kamala as well.
Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree.
Oh.
You're.
Anyway, anything else?
That's my line, motherfucker.
Just looking out for her next album sales is what it is.
Wow.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
What?
Sure,
I mean,
bro.
it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Or maybe she just thinks Kamala would be a better president.
True.
Yeah,
Right.
anything else, man? I think that's it, bruh.
You can
Unironic.
rent, I'll either get out of it, whatever, or listen in, and then I will fade into the darkness again.
Okay. I'm gonna hop into a Twitter space, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Oh yeah, peace out, man. I'll maybe listen.
Okay, be careful.
Take care, brother.
Oh no, dude.
Bye. Love you too, bye.
And what an amazing Twitter space it was. Holy, that was godly. Oh yeah. I gotta start finding ways to cut up VODs more better. So I can publish them easier. I'm like having trouble with the Jizzler versus Jacob J video. I might just have to like download the whole like almost 5-hour VOD and then just upload it. And that's gonna suck ass, but it was really fucking good. I might honestly just upload it in parts because there was like several debates that happened that were really good. So that's definitely gonna happen. Yeah, actually, I think that's gonna be play. Let's see.
I don't know if he's actually gonna. I'm not actually fully convinced that he knows what it's.
That the nuclear reactors themselves.
Okay. I was gonna do the debate, but then I was like, what the hell? This is a real game? Oh, what the hell? Oh, what the fuck? Tipster's return to drama isn't going
Famous
too well.
politician, Dr. Disrespect. Oh no, wait, it's drama. Oh, it's a drama video. Okay. Free for people.
That's a fucking tough one, man.
Okay, I've just had a thought on this as well. Okay.
Alright, Kara, I just want to know, did Tippy actually say anything?
Of like some sort was back
In Call of Duty, that's such a massive accomplishment, you know? And he worked hard, years and years, built a nice community. He's
Here, hold on, I can just look at it myself. Wait, fucking, I don't know why I'm even bothering. He's still having this problem, huh? Here, let's see. Dang. There you go. Like, what is this even?
As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, so instead of individual miner, it was just individual. Now, what Dr. Disrespect failed to understand is that, yes, you know, as somebody who's a Twitter Blue subscriber or whatever the fuck they call it now, yes, you can edit tweets, but people can view the edit history. So people started calling him out. Hey, Doc, why did you remove the word miner from your statement? Messages and show what happened in the messages. He could literally just show some proof that these internal conversations that he's referring to, that he's suggesting that he was able to gain access to during the discovery process, worked out and ended up like getting closed down. So these guys were like free agents at that point.
find a way to.
Okay, this and that. Cowie and shit. It's not like Tipster's, it's not like all of Tipster's content is pure just like Fat Man Locale shit. It's just like generally speaking, like his opinions are very just like surface level, you know? Like I never expect Tipster to have like a deep take. I think why he gets like a lot of shit in the commentary community is because like him defending Keffels, his like lolly Shota takes or whatever the fuck. His the way that like he tries to be gaming centric, but then he goes into like drama and politics and shit, and then he gets absolutely smacked around by this community, and then he like leaves, and then he'll like do that on repeat. But I mean, like, that's the lol cowie shit that he does. It's not like necessarily his content itself is that lolly cowie. You know, there's times where it is funny, but for the most part, Tipsters is kind of doing his own fucking thing. And it's not like that grand or spectacular, you know? Like, it's just Tipster, bro. Like, shit.
I'd like to take a look at this because I don't know. I don't know if he still believes that. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, I do have that soundbite here.
Having sex with women is gay.
Having sex with women is gay.
Oh no, the million soundboard though. Oh my. Okay, buddy. Already? You already got this, Asmund? That's insane. Okay, you know what's crazy though? Okay, boys, we will do the presidential debate react stream tomorrow, because if I watch it through Asmongold, then Asmongold will have to strike me down, not CNN. Unironically, like, that's actually the loophole. Maybe. Oh no. But yeah, whoa. That was pretty funny. That was some good shit. That was some good times, man. Holy moly, that was a great Twitter space. Actually amazing.
My dogs, free my dog Tory. I ain't give a fuck cause I feel like I'm Morty. Your bitch on my dick, feel like I'm Rick when I'm in a motherfucking spaceship. Take off.
Ew. Yikers. No. Well, what the hell?
Transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison.
Yeah, at the risk, the prompt was American fast food experience. It was the average American fast food experience. Oh my god.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so, that would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border?
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in.
Dude, Fearbug is actually such a dick writer. Holy shit.
Donald Trump gets fact-checked after claiming that immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are eating pets. Kamala Harris has yet to be fact-checked.
And then showing them in a different light.
Wait, first let's see what the original quote was, right? Gee, Trump takes the bait and starts rambling about crowd sizes and repeats basic claims. Right, I love this, right? So the original tweet is like shit-talking Trump, but then they take it and they spin it to where it's like...
Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so, that would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border?
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave.
Dude, the way that she just mogs him, bro. This face gets me. Oh my gosh, bro. This face. This face right here, dude. Oh my shit. Oh my shit, bro. Just Giga Stacy as fuck, bro. Holy fuck. Oh no.
Rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics.
We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies, they're the greatest rallies you ever see, dude. They rally harder than your mom's ever rallied in her whole life. You don't understand. You don't understand. Look at how sad he is. He's in pain. He's all sad. Oh damn, that's such a good fit. Look at me go.
That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. what they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they
The
like
face
what I
gets
say.
me. Oh no, dude, the
Country back.
face.
They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well,
All
I've
this,
seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is the
people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
the people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying
manager.
their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk?
Yeah, he didn't answer the question though. That was an amazing dodge. Like, honestly, if you were to ask a conservative though, like, what was the question? I don't think they'd even be able to answer. I genuinely don't know. We have to watch this in full tomorrow. Maybe, but I really want to drive. Okay, we could do a little bit of it. It's just like, bro, like if you asked an average conservative, like, yeah, like what was the question? I don't think they'd actually be able to give you an answer to that. That's pretty crazy. That's wild.
Talk about extreme. You know, this is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formally worked with President Bush.
Anyway. Oh my.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
Me and my friends talking about the indie project. I've been hyping it up for years. Real, dude. Real.
Just a yes or no, you still do not.
What the hell is this even? What the fuck? Oh no.
We moved to LA. My father gets a job at the Palm Restaurant. My Uncle Junior works there, who was a Jehovah's Witness, believe it or not. He went from Catholic to Jehovah. So basically, my grandmother wanted us all to switch from Catholic to Jehovah. You know, meanwhile, we're from Harlem. My father's doing coke. You know, my mother thinks she's Aunt Margaret. She's teasing the hair with a bottle of vodka.
Eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating.
Stop.
And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after
Shut
it's born.
up.
Madam Vice President, I want to get your
Bullshit.
response to
Fuck
the
what
president.
she's fact checking. It happened in Virginia, and by the way, the Infants Born Alive Act in Illinois, Barack Obama voted against it.
Donald Trump.
The bigger point is her fact checking him.
3
Yes.
members of the United States Supreme.
No, honestly? You know what I want to do? You know what we ought to do? See, the problem is a lot of these guys, they do like these members only, or they do like a private thing where you have to pay to watch it. I want to get all of this. I want to get all the Republican reactions. All like the conservative like talking heads. I want to get their reactions to the debate.
That's what I want to do. I want to do a reaction to them crying and coping and seething about like Trump getting fact checked. That's actually what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That sounds like a way more fun stream to me. Cause like everyone and their mom has seen the debate at this point. I've seen the debate. Like what the fuck? I saw like the last half of it. I was at work for the first half. But like, okay, you know what? Hold on. I will at least play some Diablo or some shit tonight. I swear to God. But hold on. No. I'm actually now you gotta pique my interest. Now I'm curious. Oh, I was like, wait, did I not click it? Okay, I did click it. Okay, hold on. First off, louder. Fucking damn it. With Crowder. Okay, please show me. Yes!
Spokesman, one of the top people.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we had a stinger.
No.
There it is. Oh, all right. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
That thing looks like at the end.
Yes.
That would.
Why Donald Trump, when asked
that they were 4 years ago.
Okay, this is findable.
So I was raised as a middle class
For the world, and the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars and handed them over a.
for the future.
Both brought up.
First, mine would strengthen the economy.
Now do unrealized capital gains. What the
Wharton
economists say.
School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode
Dry mouth.
the deficit.
Problem, yeah.
16 Nobel
Started that way.
laureates have described
I thought that was
his
their ass.
economic plan as something that would
Wrong.
increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite
She's pointing out the stuff that might go bad. He's pointing out stuff that went bad under her.
Great point. He's more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
It's just a soundbite. They gave her that to say.
They let her,
I went to the Wharton
they let
School
her
of
go
Finance,
and they cut him off.
many
There you
of
go.
those
Did you see that?
professors, the top professors.
He did
think
land
my
a singer,
plan
though.
is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring.
Dude, holy shit. Dude, yeah, dude. The Crowder Copium stream? Oh, no, dude. Oh, my God. What is this, dude? Holy shit, bro. Oh, my God, dude. The Crowder Cope stream. Holy shit. Oh, hold on. Let me post that. Hold on.
ABC significantly.
Holy.
But my question to you tonight is why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations
Oh,
for
here we
the
go.
trafficking
Sexual
of
orientation
guns,
matters.
drugs, and human beings. And
So
let
why
me
are you
say
letting him in now?
that the United States Congress,
Why are you letting him
including
in
some of
now?
the most conservative members of the United States Senate,
Dude, is this like Crowder's dad or some shit? Who is this disgruntled old man? Is this grumpy old guy who's just giving like the most basic like Republican dad takes? He's like, well, why are you letting in the Mexicans? He's like shaking his beer can angrily. It's just get over the carpet. The damn Mexicans, what are they doing in here all of a sudden now? Make it make sense, son. The world's changing on me, and I don't like what I'm seeing. Things are moving a little too fast for me now, son.
came up with a border security bill, which I support.
That's like a tough guy old man. It was like, "Meh. Things are moving too fast for me, son.
Your old man, he can't keep up anymore. Why are they letting in all the illegals anyway?
And that bill would have put
It's the Mexicans, way.
those folks who are working there right now.
This is the bill of
overtime,
20
Where?
billion, none of which would be for prevention or fixing or creating a wall, but I believe it was 70 billion to Ukraine. That
I
bill.
know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of
Understood the rallies. She said people start leaving.
Don't take the
people
bait.
don't go
Don't
to
take
her
the bait.
rallies. There's no reason to go.
Listen.
And the people.
Oh
that
no,
go,
let's
she's
see
busing
it.
them
Yeah, I knew I'd find it. This is it. This is it.
and showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies,
Even
the
with
most incredible
bullets.
rallies in the history of politics.
That's
because
obvious.
people
Move
want
on.
to take.
It's obvious.
Even with bullets.
Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation.
Here we go.
And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to
no.
the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield.
Note though how like they'll talk over her, right, when she has like coherent shit to say, but when he's completely just like in Rambletown, right? Downtown Rambleton, they're just sitting there silent. Look at that. Bro is so confused. He doesn't know what to say. He's absolutely baffled. He's like, what? What do I even do here? What do I even do, Dad? What do I do?
About it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
They're going to fact check him and say this
they're
wasn't
eating
verified.
The pets of the people that live there.
This is
And
not a
this
smart
what's
move on his. He
happening
should stick
in
to the
our
numbers.
country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far
No, don't
as
go back to that.
the
Get off the
reason
rallies.
they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country
Just
back.
compare the
They wanna
numbers. That's
make
all you had to
America
say.
Great again. It's a very simple phrase. Make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes
pivoted.
president, this country doesn't have a
He should have
chance
answered
of
that was a
success.
bill with 20
Not
billion
with
to the
success.
border and
We'll
70
end up
billion to
in
Ukraine.
Venezuela on
And by the way, I
steroids.
wasn't in office.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News
Another
did
fact
reach
check.
out to the
Listen.
city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused
course
by
he said
individuals
that.
within the immigrant community.
That's why you shouldn't take the bait.
Let me just say here, this is
Of course he said that. Yo, dude, who is this old ass man? He's so upset.
Hold on, you can't fact check
Dude, this curmudgeon, look at he's so bummed.
Maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
But the
television.
people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield
Named
city manager says
vagina.
there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme. You know,
What?
this
That
is,
liberal
I think,
fucking
one of the
laugh.
reasons why in this election I actually
That
have the
liberal laugh,
endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with
None
President
of whom
Bush,
matter.
Mitt
Adam
Romney,
Kinzinger and Liz
John
Cheney.
McCain.
What they have to say after, I'm really curious.
Back to building normal energy plants.
Okay, what
We're
was
not
the
ready.
end? What was the end of their little
Look, let me just tell you
3.5
one
hour
thing.
cope
This is-
stream?
Imagine you are, before we get to anything else, imagine you are Donald Trump right now. And we knew that this was the case. They say you praise white supremacists even though you condemned them. They say that you basically called for an insurrection even though you told people to be peaceful and patriotic. Then they say that you're a convicted felon because they trump up these charges and make sure that they can prosecute you and weaponize the DOJ. And then you know that the media is going to parrot that and give layouts.
But no, how he didn't. He couldn't even. Well, I like how even Crowder, right, couldn't even be like. But I mean, you know, you didn't get convicted though.
Tonight, she wasn't able to pivot away from a prosecutor felon. She still had to continue with that. And you have been able to. There's a
Yeah, and you guys keep bringing it up and crying about it, and I wonder why.
very wide, very chasmous, that's a term, disconnect. You know, like Willie Brown referred to Kamala Harris. There's a huge chasm between what the American public believe and what they are actually presenting to the American public right now. You know there's been a weaponization of the DOJ. Why? Because you've seen it. You've seen people from the DOJ say it. They are trying to act as though it is still legitimate and simply start with that as a premise. Donald Trump, of course, called for people to committed insurrection. No, they didn't. Donald Trump, of course, who's facing all these charges and lost all of his cases in court. No, he hasn't. And she...
I like how he just goes, no. No, not true. Don't need to substantiate any of my claims. Not true, actually. Yeah, that's all just media bullshit. It actually was peaceful. What do you mean, dude? Vice and everyone else, they just lied. Duh. Have you ever thought about that? Libtard? That everyone that covered that, they're just all in cahoots? And that it's Steven Crowder, who's the only honest journalist to ever fucking report on J6? Yeah, dude, that's the real truth, bro. It's just so funny. It's just so funny to me, dude. It's just so funny. Because it's just like... It's the beautiful thing about the internet is you can just come on and you can just say shit and, like, people will just eat it up. People just believe you. And, like, what's crazy is when you get shit wrong, you don't even got to come out and say you're wrong. You can just keep going. Like, when I get shit wrong, I come out and I go, damn, bros, this really sucks. We were wrong. Turns out I got this wrong. Is what it is, though. Here's the facts. Now we know. So now we're not wrong. And that's it, right? But it's like these guys, they just like double down. But they don't even need to double down because they just go, no, that didn't happen. And it's like, well, fuck, bro. Like, how do I even contest that? It's like, did you see the footage? Footage is all fake, bro. It's not real. They lied to you. It's like, well, shit. We don't have a time machine yet, so I guess fuck me, dude. I guess you win. Like...
to use as a spring.
Oh, no.
Let me ask you this. Let's just to give you an example. Take John Jones, the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Okay. Put him against 3 people. Doesn't come out. Take Mike Tyson. Put him against 3 people. Evander Holyfield. Take Muhammad Ali. No one can take on a gang of people. Superman can't. That's what has happened tonight, not just with the moderators and Kamala Harris, but it's what's happened with the DOJ, with the media at large, with what we are seeing coming from the UN, and you know it because you've supported and we appreciate it. And by the way, we can't do this without you. Just click that button, join Mug Club, because we are in a sprint between now and election.
It's a fight.
Oh, no.
Use the promo code Trump24, Trump20.
I was just returning.
I think he...
Okay. That was actually a good bit of fun. That was actually a good bit of fun. I will give you that. Okay, that was a good bit of fun. Yeah. Yeah. I got content to edit. I got VODs to work on. I got shit to dizzily do, dude. So we're gonna dizzily do it up, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll catch y'all later, gang. Okay. Have a good night. Stay safe on the internet. VODs are gonna be uploaded. Hopefully, starting tomorrow, we're gonna start making more